Aim Hreem Shreem. Namaskar. My name is Vijay Jyotish. Today we will explore polytheism in the context of Sanatana Dharma, which is more commonly and better known as Hinduism. In Sanatana Dharma, followers both acknowledge and worship multiple gods or deities, including nature, which we consider to be divine. As such, most people, including many within Sanatana Dharma itself, believe that this is a polytheistic religion. Some people quote scriptural references, be it the Upanishads or the Vedas, to claim that there are 33 crore gods in Sanatana Dharma. This would be 330 million gods for those familiar with sizing numbers in the Western system of millions and billions. I find that this notion of 330 million gods is very popular, especially in the evangelical Christian view of Sanatana Dharma. Some followers of Sanatana Dharma clarify that these are not gods but 33 crore deities and point out the difference between God and a deity. But I find that none of these people making such preposterous claims, if I might add, can even name 33 of these gods or deities, let alone anything in the millions. From all the reading I've done myself, even I cannot name any of these 33 crore deities. If anyone in this universe knows them, please list them in the comments below. Some others further clarify that this whole notion of 33 crore gods or deities is in itself fallacious. They point out quite correctly that in Sanskrit, a word can have many, many meanings. As such, in the quoted scriptural references to the existence of crores of gods or deities, the Sanskrit word koti has been misinterpreted to mean crores when the correct contextual meaning is actually highest or supreme. So the more refined view is that there are actually only 33 highest or supreme deities, with each representing a different and key aspect of nature and the universe. The followers of the very honorable ISKCON movement are of the view that Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru, which is to say that Bhagavan Krishna is the only supreme God or supreme personality of Godhead, and the rest are just demigods or deities. But there is something that is common to all of these conflicting groups. They all agree that there is either more than one god or deity in Sanatana Dharma. To the ordinary mind, this is the textbook definition of polytheism. So the key question we will explore today is whether Sanatana Dharma is really polytheistic. What is the perspective of Sanatana Dharma about our Creator? Is there one creator, or many gods and deities, or perhaps both? When you dig deeper, you'll find that this polytheistic view of Sanatana Dharma is quite ordinary, limited, and simplistic. Sanatana Dharma does not become exclusively polytheistic simply by acknowledging and worshipping multiple gods and deities. Polytheism in reality is only one aspect of worship in Sanatana Dharma. It is simply an inclusive and assistive means to realize worldly desires and eventually reach the ultimate goal in Sanatana Dharma, which is realizing oneness in Brahman, who is verily our creator and resides within us. Brahman is that which is not, and from which everything manifests. This is to say that Brahman is nothingness with complete awareness, which has no attributes that can be used to describe itself, but everything describable manifests from it. It is this Brahman that is manifest everywhere, in both the physical world, Apara Prakriti, and in the mind, Para Prakriti. The beauty of Sanatana Dharma is that it allows for multiple approaches to realize this oneness in Brahman, one of which appears to be polytheistic. It does not prescribe a one-size-fits-all approach where there is this threatening demand for everyone to accept this one way to be the true way, and for this one God to be the true God. And if you don't agree, you'll be charged with heresy, blasphemy, or worse, you'll face a real threat to your life. Thankfully, none of this extremism exists in Sanatana Dharma. The approach in Sanatana Dharma varies based on the goals and spiritual progress of the aspirant. To understand whether Sanatana Dharma is really polytheistic, it is very important to know that there are three types of worship in Sanatana Dharma. Namely, Apara Puja, Parapara Puja, and Para Puja. First, let's look at Apara Puja. To the seeker who views the divine as external to themselves, the tangible appears real, and ritualistic, polytheistic practices are very appealing to the mind and the ego. Here, the seeker worships the divine as an external form that is distinct to oneself. This external form can be anything, one god or many gods and deities, shapes, symbols, an object in nature like the sun, etc. There is no trace of non-duality or Advaita Bhana in this practice. Due to this avidya or ignorance, the seeker feels separate and distinct from the external forms. Apara Puja is largely ritualistic in nature. Here, human-like representations are used in idols that ordinary people can easily relate to. These energized human-like representations are called murtis, and they help the common man easily recall various positive attributes of the deity, and the radiating energy assists them in solving specific life challenges. The second form of worship is Parapara Puja. As one's consciousness begins to elevate, the energized human-like representation of idols or murtis is now switched to an abstract form like the Shivalinga. Here, the seeker with an elevated consciousness approaches reality from an initial perception of duality, which ultimately gets merged into the oneness of Brahman by access to Mahavakya Upadesha and subsequent contemplation over one's real identity. The Mahavakyas, such as Tattvamasi, Ayamatma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, etc., form the basis of contemplation as one journeys towards self-realization. To this metaphysical seeker, ideas and philosophies appeal to the mind, where the intangible appears real. However, if there are karmic obstructions due to papa, which is sins, and vasanas, which are unrealized desires and latent karmic imprints, then even this Mahavakya Upadesha and its subsequent contemplation does not bring self-realization. In such cases, which is true for the majority of human beings, Sri Vidya offers the mantra, chakra, and puja required to assist the seeker towards Brahman. Access to Sri Vidya, however, is available through Guru Diksha only in one's last birth. Those blessed to receive this initiation move beyond the abstract depiction of the Shivalinga to perceive the divine reality in the simpler form of a geometric pattern. This geometric pattern is more popularly known as the Shri Chakra. And finally, the third form of worship is Parapuja. This is the highest form of worship, even beyond the Sri Chakra, where there is no trace of duality or Dvaita Bhana. Here the seeker is in an advanced state of consciousness due to Purva Janma Punya, and worship is mostly in the mind, where there is constant contemplation of oneness with Brahman. There is no sense of separateness from the oneness of Brahman. There is no you and me. At a certain state of progress, even contemplation is no longer necessary for this person. From that one thought of I am one with Brahman, all that is required is to train the mind into complete silence so that this one thought transforms into simply I am, which is the self, Brahman, and our creator. When this happens successfully, all sense of space, time, ideas, and others disappear. This state of nothingness, pure consciousness, and complete awareness is Brahman. However, this is only available to the perseverant few, and you can count them with fingers on one hand. Some might ask that if there is only one creator, does that mean that all these other gods or deities don't exist? It's not that these gods or deities don't exist, and there is no need to deny them because there is only one creator. They exist just like you and me. There is only a need to realize and recognize that everything, including you, me, and these deities, are ultimately a manifestation of that one Brahman. This is potentially akin to quantum physics, where everything is treated as simply an excitation of the base quantum field. At the core, it appears that we are all essentially quantum particles of perfection, who exist simultaneously in the past, present, and the future. So I hope you can see that Sanatana Dharma is just an organized construct for realizing the truth and the nature of reality. It is simply a system of tools, methods, and specific techniques that will allow you to realize yourself. And polytheism is just one of these tools in the process. I hope I've been of service to you. I hope your life brims with auspiciousness. If you're interested in a personal astrological reading, you'll find details on my website, vijayjyotish.com. I've also included a link for this in the description below. Thank you for your time today and have an auspicious day and year ahead. Bye-bye.